Hello, men of God. Welcome to the channel. My name is Francisco Francois, and this channel exists to gather men who are hungry for the presence of God, who are hungry for more, who desire a deeper relationship with the Father, men who desire to walk in righteousness and wisdom as taught in Proverbs, men who long to become people after God's heart, and men who are ready to embrace their God-given identity in Jesus Christ. This place is for growth, brotherhood, healing, and transformation. And today specifically is about justice, righteousness, and standing up for what is right. And for men, we should not always, that there is no place for us to be comfortable at all. We should always practice justice and righteousness, no matter where, no matter to who. We are called to be courageous and stand for what is right. So stay tuned and let's talk about something that's very important. Especially for people who desire to walk and be more like Christ, where love is the center of everything, where respect is not something that somebody earns, but something that you have decided to give at no cost. Living in the US for almost a decade, I've noticed that a lot of people are not aware of the existence of Black people in Latin America and areas of the Caribbean, when in fact there is a huge amount of Black people in what we call South America and just Latin America in general. Countries like Colombia, Ecuador, Panama, Cuba, Mexico, Puerto Rico, though is part of the United States, Haiti for fact, and even countries like Brazil, which actually is not technically considered a Latin American country, though it's located in South America, because their language is Portuguese. I guess that is the main reason why they're not considered Latin American. But at the end of the day, they possess the majority Black population in South America. That being said, we in general don't consider ourselves Afro-American as the Black community in the United States. We often use terms like Afro-Latino or Afro-Caribbean to acknowledge our African roots while also recognizing our unique cultural identity. So there is a lot of people still that within the Latin American community that though their skin color is Black, they still don't consider themselves Black for whatever may be the reason. But that's beside the point. At the end of the day, they are Black. But all that to say that Black people exist everywhere around the globe. So yes, majority of Black people are concentrated in the African continent, yet we exist everywhere around the globe. But back to it, today I'm going to focus on the Dominican Republic. See, this is my country of origin. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, so I can tell you all about it. In fact, it's a beautiful country. It's a place where you can definitely go and you will be desiring to come back. Next time you come back, you will come back with 2, 3, 10 more people, which is the goal. That's why anytime anybody goes out there, we try to make sure that you guys have the best time ever. Everybody knows that the Dominican Republic is known for being one of the best, if not the best, touristic destination for anyone who's trying to relax and just forget about all the stress that most people live out here anywhere around the world. The DR is the place to go if you want to relax and just forget about all your trouble. Now, if you have visited the Dominican Republic, you more than likely have been to the most beautiful places. You probably have heard of Punta Cana, you've been to La Romana, Puerto Plata, or probably Samaná. So you more than likely know everything about the sunny days, the beaches, palm trees, an open bar with the non-stop margarita and the Mama Juana being offered to you 24/7 on call. But I'm pretty sure that also when you got to your resort or your hotel, your all-inclusive place, more than likely they told you to not step out of your resort. And if you were to look for anything, come to somebody in the resort and they were going to make sure that you have everything that you need for safety reasons. So yes, you definitely had the great experience, the great vacation, the great time, the great dream time that anybody would desire. But yet you have not experienced what it's like to step outside and actually go into the local communities and see the reality, of what really is happening. The island of La Hispaniola. It is the only island in the American continent shared by two nations. For centuries, these two nations have shared strong and deep economical ties, while also experiencing profound social and cultural differences. There is not denying on the fact that the Dominican Republic and Haiti has a lot of social, cultural, linguistic, and traditional differences. Most of this division comes from historical events. For example, Haiti was colonized by France, while the Dominican Republic, at that time called Santo Domingo, was colonized by Spain. Another major factor was the occupation of the Dominican Republic, at that time Santo Domingo, by Haiti. And after 22 years of struggle, the Dominican Republic gaining its independence from Haiti. Both countries are rich in their own way, and amazing people populate both sides of the island. One thing for sure is that no matter which side you're from, both countries are crowded with people with big heart and a huge desire for better in every aspect of life. Great strength, resilient people, hardworking, respectful, kind, humble. And above it all, the major thing that's striking me the most is that I haven't seen a country more God-fearing than these two pairs in the middle of the most beautiful sea of this hemisphere, the Caribbean Sea. Outside of the four walls of your all-inclusive, reality strikes like a whip on the back. A group of people is being bullied, hated, and looked down upon by a large number of the citizens. But what is even sadder is that those who have a voice and control the media platforms are using it to spread more hatred towards the Haitian community living in the Dominican Republic. I wonder, if I went to Google, what would be the proper word to define the hatred, revulsion, or hostility towards people of other nationality because of their costumes, language, or social status? There is an open secret that in the DR, no one is allowed to talk about. Because when you do, you are considered not patriotic enough or unpatriotic, attacked publicly, or accused of betraying one's country, or ultimately become a media target simply for advocating that others be treated with dignity. Let me be clear. I'm not defending illegal immigration. Like every country, the Dominican Republic has set rules and has a constitution which anybody who comes into our country must abide by. Every country has the right to protect immigration and defend and protect their own interests. And I support the enforcement of immigration laws. But enforcing immigration law should never come at the expenses of human dignity. Those are two different issues. Stopping illegal immigration is one issue. Discriminating against people because the way they look is a different story. When people are stopped, questioned, or harassed solely because their skin color or because they speak a different language, that is a clear violation of humans' dignity. When someone's nationality becomes an insult or a slur, that is discrimination. When people are called degrading names because of their ancestry, that is prejudice. And when society attempts to normalize these behaviors or dismiss them as harmless expressions, it becomes a form of gaslighting against those who experience the discrimination firsthand. Because the reality is that dark-skinned people, especially with those with African features, experience unequal treatment. Some are made to feel as though they don't belong, as they are less worthy, as their solid presence is a problem. Again, I do not condone illegal immigration. Anyone living in a country unlawfully should follow the legal process established by any nation. But opposing illegal immigration should never become an excuse to dehumanize an entire group of people. I speak from my own personal experience. As the son of Dominicans and grandson of Haitian immigrants who immigrated to the Dominican Republic in hopes of a better life, I know what it's like to grow up black, brown, or dark-skinned in a society where many people struggle to acknowledge their African ancestry because of the stigma associated with blackness and because of the historical relationship with Haiti. Growing up, many of us were told in a jokingly way, but at the end of the day, we knew that that was a thing. We were told to marry a light-skinned or white person because that would make our family better. They call it fixing the family or arreglar la familia, which is a common term used back home, as if there is something wrong with being black. There's nothing wrong with being black. We are all the same, white, black, we are all the same. We are all beautiful people. But why would anybody have to tell you that you need to marry a white person or a light-skinned person for you in order to fix the DNA of your family? That's literally what that means when somebody tells you arreglar la familia, or marry a lighter-skinned person so that your family can be fixed, as if darker skin was something that needed to be corrected. Many children carry those beliefs all the way up to when they become adult, which is when they finally learn to embrace who they are. If a black child misbehave or act up in the neighborhood, many people will call him that little Haitian boy, even though he might look or be overwhelmingly Dominican, as if Haitians got no education and everything that is not educated enough has to be related to them. And if your last name sounds French or Creole, that becomes another reason for your classmate to mock you, a label, a stigma. That becomes a burden that you have to carry throughout all your years of school and even beyond that. There is so much more I could say, but the point is, before anything else, we are human beings. Nobody chooses where they are born. Nobody chooses the color of their skin, their native language. Nobody chooses the social class they are born into. But there are things that we all can choose ultimately. We can choose kindness. We can choose respect, empathy. We can choose to treat people with dignity. That is what builds community. Communities build society. And societies build nations. And those nations shape the world. At the end of the day, we all share this planet. At least until we conquer Mars or something like that. I mean, the way things are going, it seems like we are soon to be living on the moon or Mars. But back to it. Let's not allow hatred to fill our heart, and let's allow love to be what reigns in our heart. So once again, anybody that's committing crimes, anybody that's doing something wrong, hurting people, robbing, just killing, and doing all the bad stuff, you guys need to go. You gotta go. Like, you gotta go back. And anybody that has came legally and done all the proper paperwork, then you're more than welcome. But us, as well as Dominican, I consider myself Dominican because I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic. Yet I cannot deny my Haitian ancestry because I grew up with my grandparents for a good part of my life. And my grandparents were from Haiti, living in the Dominican Republic. So in my house, we grew up speaking speaking Spanish and speaking Creole. I grew up in the middle of that culture, in the middle of both cultures, actually. So I'm very aware of what the Haitian culture is like, and very aware as well of what the Dominican culture is. And I grew up in this small town in the middle of a sugar cane plantation where the majority of people are mixed, just like me. And for those people who are mixed, I am pretty sure and very aware of the fact that we are very hurt of what happened, what is happening nowadays with this whole issue between these two nationalities. I am not asking that we become one nation or one country because that's never going to happen. For one reason, we are Dominicans, and for one reason, there is Haitian. So I think what we are makes us great. Haitian people are great. Dominican people are great as well. It's those who are trying to make it seem as if the Haitians are just worth nothing. That is the problem right there. Like, where is the love? Where is the empathy? They are people just like us, and love should remain above all. We should respect one another. So at the end, for those who do know Christ, I assume and I know that this matter should raise no question. There should have been a question on whether I should or not love on somebody, because we are called to love. We're supposed to love no matter what. That is what Jesus taught us through his word. And then he also called us to be righteous, to make justice. We cannot take justice by our own hands, but we can raise our voice and speak up on behalf of those who do not have a voice. We can use our voice to spread the word of God. Right now, the word is full of just all kind of trash, impurity. Everything you want that is against the word of God is out there for free. Social media is flooded with everything that is not good at all, with everything that will take you straight to hell. That's the reality. So we got to fight back, especially you, man of God. God gave us authority, power. He gave us actually authority to reign over everything. We lost that identity when Adam sinned in the garden, but Jesus came to restore what was broken. So we got to stand up for righteousness and stand up for those who are in need. We got to stand up for those who cannot fight for themselves. And I'm not calling nobody to be violent. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm saying is that we can use our voice to speak for what is right. And for those who don't know Christ, all I can tell you is that I spent many years away from Christ, and these were some of the seemingly best years of my life. But there was something within me, there was something inside me that was craving something else that I could not find anywhere, that I could not seem to fulfill. There was this void in my heart. Every time I was outside with friends, anytime I was outside having fun, doing this, doing that, which later I probably will speak about my testimony, I was just blinded. I was happy, but this happiness was not everlasting. It was a kind of happiness that the moment I got home, the moment I got in my bed, the moment that there was no friend around, the moment that there was no women right next to me, the world came down crashing on me, and I just felt the heaviness of like an elephant just standing on my chest until Christ came. He had mercy on me. He showed me grace, and he completely changed my life. And I can tell you definitely that I feel so much better than when I was out there just doing whatever I wanted to do. And today I'm a man who wants to submit completely to God. And just like he has changed my life, and I am not perfect, even though I am called to perfection, perfect is he only. And he can change your life. He can make you a better man. He can wipe those tears that you cry when nobody's watching. Yes, when you sit at the parking lot for almost an hour after work because you are so stressed out, you don't want to even walk in the house. You're just sitting in the driveway in your car, taking a breath. He is there, and he want to change that. He want to bring joy, happiness, blessings. He want to bring back peace. Peace is the one thing that man craved. Is the one thing that man love. Is peace. And Christ can give you that, and he will give it to you if you turn around and surrender and give your life to him. So thank you for watching this video, and I pray over you, over your family, over your house, over your children, that God will cover you, will bless you, and will prosper your every step. If you don't know Christ, the Bible said that those who acknowledge that he died and raised from the dead and declare with their mouth that Jesus is the Lord, those will be saved. So tonight, if you can pray that and believe it in your heart, then know that you will be safe. See you next time.